galactic. We have changed our resolution, at least for streaming on YouTube when we upload it. We're going to see if that works to give a little bit better resolution. We're still a little bit worried that the higher resolution may not come across the live stream as well, and we don't want to make it too choppy during the live stream, but we'll see if it gives us a better picture quality after we upload it, after the game. And if that works, then maybe we'll take the next step and see if it does it during the live stream. We're just not sure if the Wi-Fi will be able to carry the higher resolution. Trying all kinds of things out. Chad beside me is trying to get everything better for us in our live stream, and I really appreciate all of his help. So the 14U Mustangs came away with a big 3-0 win this morning against the SHAHA Panthers. We're going into game 2. The Mustangs will be in the white jerseys, and the SHAHA Panthers will be in their green jerseys this time. So we're just getting the pucks all cleaned up, getting ready to start. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We do not have any games tomorrow. Our next games will be the weekend of the 15th and 16th. We'll be coming to you from Ohio. We'll be playing the Ohio Prospects on the 15th, and then the Toledo Cherokee on the 16th. I should be able to make both of those games, so we should be coming to you live from those games. We're just getting ready to start. So I'm just going to mute it for a minute till we get ready for puck drop. Okay, we're just about to start. It looks like we have Zoldi, Lugar, Wenzel, Knob, and Wilson for our starting lineup. Winfield's in the net to the right. Both teams are hyped up, ready to go. 15 minutes up on the clock. Lugar with the faceoff. The Panthers have it in the neutral zone. Take it back and pass it D to D. Bring through the neutral zone. Wilson is there to break it up. Lugar hits it up, but it goes off of the ref's feet. Still bouncing off of the ref's feet. Over along the wall. The Panthers send it back to their defense. Wenzel in there to break up the play. Zoldi comes away with it. Zoldi into the offensive zone. Zoldi tries to get a shot off, but he gets taken down. Lugar against the boards. The Panthers send it behind the net. Wenzel along the boards to dump it behind the net, but it hits the netting. So 14:30 left in the first period. We'll have a face-off to the right of the goalie. Looks like we'll have Eichfeld, Billadu, Sheehan, Williams, and Brooks out for the Mustangs. So Eichfeld with the face-off, sitting along the dots, goes to Sheehan along the boards. Sheehan still fighting for that puck. The Panthers come away with it. Poke check by Billadu. The Panthers do get it into the neutral zone. Brooks will go back to collect. Brooks gets it towards Eichfeld. Up to the point. Panthers dump it down to the corner. Williams behind the net. Eichfeld into the corner. Bringing it up the wall. Eichfeld into the neutral zone. Passes it cross ice to Billadu. Billadu brings it into the offensive zone before it gets picked off by the Panthers. The Panthers hit it along the board. Sheehan keeps it along that board. Eichfeld picks it up, gets it centered. Unfortunately, it bounced off of Bilodeau. The Panthers have this puck, high bouncing puck into the neutral zone, glove down by Williams. The Panthers have it into the offensive end zone. Nice poke check by Brooks. Sheehan brings it into the neutral zone, hits it against the wall to dump it into the offensive zone. Sheehan still sticking with that puck. Panthers get it out into the neutral zone. Knob will pick this up, and the Mustangs will regroup. Knob dumps it down as the Mustangs want to change. We have wide line, Giesman, Baker out there. Wide line fighting for that puck behind the net. Steer tries to break up that play. Good job by wide line trying to keep that puck in, and it does stay in. Giesman over there in assistance. Mustangs have to get back on sides. Still fighting along that board. Wide line knocks it free, but it goes back to the Panthers. High bouncing puck into the neutral zone. Steer will go back to collect. Steer hits the puck hard along the boards over to Baker. Baker gets hit into the boards. Knob will try to send this up along the boards. Knob still fighting for that puck. Centering pass by the Panthers. Wide line picks this up, dumps it out into the neutral zone. High bouncing puck wide of the net. Knob will go back to collect, sends it hard around the boards to Steer. Steer to the middle. Unfortunately, the Panthers are there. Shot over the net, thankfully. Baker dumps it around behind the net towards Knob. So I think that was wide line that sent it hard up along the boards. No ice, so the Panthers will have to pick this up. Hard pass into the neutral zone, but Knob is there to dump it down. Shot on net and covered by the goalie. So we have 11:53 left in the first period. Score is 0-0. We'll have a face-off to the right of the goalie. So we have Archer, Archer, who is Everett Williams' brother, helping us out with the scoreboard. He's keeping the time and trying to keep some shots on goal, though it doesn't look like shots on goal are necessary going up on the scoreboard right now. So the puck is along the wall. Downey sending it towards Conrad. Downey over towards Wilson. Wilson with a shot, gloved by the goalie. Brooks dumps it down towards Conrad in the corner. Conrad hits the puck back towards Williams. Williams fighting for that puck in that corner. Conrad centers it towards Moore. Moore tries to get a shot off, covered by the goalie. So 11:24 left in the first period, still 0-0. So we're going to have Zoldi, Wenzel, Lugar, Williams, and Steer out for the Mustangs on a face-off to the left of the goalie. So Lugar with the face-off. Puck. Zoldi sends it to the opposite boards. The Panthers bring it through the neutral zone, dumps it behind the net. Steer will pick this up. The Panthers are there, center it. Thankfully, they couldn't connect from the point. The Panthers with a shot, glove down by Williams. Zoldi picks this up, gets it to Wenzel. Wenzel through the neutral zone. Wenzel dumps it down after he gains the red line. Lugar coming to put pressure along that puck. Steer keeps it in, down along the corner. Steer fighting for the puck in that blind corner. Downey trying to get to that puck along with Conrad. Downey comes up with it. Steer keeps it in, passes it over to Lugar, or Moore centers it. Conrad couldn't get the shot off as he was tied up with the Panthers player. The puck does leak out. Williams will pick this up in the neutral zone. Williams gets it into the offensive zone. Panthers pass it D to D. Good job by Williams to block that puck to keep it in. The puck does leak out into the neutral zone. Conrad will go back to collect, sends it over to Steer. Steer cross ice pass to Downey. Okay, we're back there. Sorry, guys. We had a little bit of computer malfunction. Eichfeld has this puck, bringing it down into the middle. Brooks will keep this at the point, sends it down to Eichfeld at the red line. Eichfeld surveying, sends it to Sheehan. Sheehan along the boards, dumps it down towards Eichfeld. Eichfeld behind the net. The Panthers will pick this up. Knob keeps it in, dumps it down behind the net towards Eichfeld. Eichfeld from the corner. The Panthers have along the board. Eichfeld with a hit to break up that play. Eichfeld still fighting for that puck. Billadu comes away with it. Billadu with a shot over the net. Brooks will have to go collect this into the neutral zone, passes it over to Knob. Knob tries to dump it down, but it gets picked off by the Panthers. Sheehan will collect the puck, trying to get it over to Billadu, but it gets picked off by the Panthers. The Mustangs are fighting to get to this puck. Brooks comes away with it. Brooks hits it up towards Eichfeld, and that'll be offsides. So 8:34 left in the first period. The score is still 0-0. We're going to have wide line, Giesman, Baker, Steer, and Wilson out for the Mustangs. So the Panthers have this back at their D. They dump it down. Wilson takes it behind the net, hits it around towards wide line, but the Panthers pick this off, center it, try to get a shot off, but it's broken up. Steer dumps it towards Giesman, who gloves it down. The Panthers try to get it in. Wilson is there, but the puck goes back to Giesman. Giesman over towards Baker, and the Panthers will dump it in for offsides. So we have 8:07 left in the first period. The score is still 0-0. So we'll have a face-off at the near dot. We're going to have Giesman, wide line, Baker, Wilson, and Steer. Steer comes up with this puck into the neutral zone, dumps it down after he gains the red line. Giesman in there hard to try to get to this puck, but it's covered by the goalie. So 7:57 left. We have a face-off to the left of the goalie. We're going to keep that same line out there. So Giesman with the face-off goes back towards Wilson. Wilson dumps it down into the corner. Baker trying to get to that puck. Wide line with a shot broken up by the Panthers. Giesman passes it back to Wilson at the point. Wilson back down to Giesman. Giesman into the middle, backhands it. Unfortunately, it goes off his skates. Giesman back to Steer. Steer trying to keep that puck in, but it leaks out. The Panthers have some speed through the neutral zone. 2-on-1, pass over. Good job by Wideline on a back check. Good save by Winfield there. The puck leaks out into the neutral zone. Baker tries to break up that play. The Panthers dump it down, picked up by Steer, who gets it out into the neutral zone. Baker will pick this up, but the Panthers gain control and dump it down. Steer takes it behind the net. Hits it hard up towards Lugar in the middle. The Panthers will be offsides. So 7:03 left in the first period, still 0-0. We're going to have Zoldi, Lugar, Wenzel, Williams, and Knob. So Williams hits this puck hard up into the offensive zone. Panthers pick it up behind the net, pass it up along the boards and into the neutral zone. Williams is there to pass it back towards Zoldi and Wenzel. Lugar keeps that puck into the offensive zone. Lugar with a shot deflected by the Panthers. Panthers bring it behind the net. Poke check down by Wenzel, and Williams keeps it in, dumps it down towards Wenzel in the corner. Wenzel looking to center. It goes off the back of the net. Zoldi putting pressure along that puck. Zoldi centers it. Unfortunately, we didn't have anybody there. The Panthers send it cross ice and into the middle. Williams back on D. Shot, saved by Winfield. Williams hits that puck up towards Wenzel, but the Panthers gain control again. They try to center it, but it goes wide of the net. Lugar with a hit to break up that play. Williams hits this puck up along the boards. Lugar hits it off of the glass into the neutral zone. Zoldi putting pressure along that puck before the Panthers dump it down. Knob picks this up in the corner, hits it around behind the net over towards Williams. Williams dumps that puck up, but the Panthers pick that off. Downey putting good pressure along that puck to pick it off. Goes back towards Williams. Williams trying to get around that player. Williams through the neutral zone, passes it towards Downey, but it gets picked off. Knob sends it back up along the boards towards Downey. And bouncing puck. So offsides by the Panthers. Bouncing puck into the bench. We have 5:27 left in the first period. So we're going to have Downey, Conrad, Moore, Steer, and Brooks. So Downey almost picks off that pass, but the Panthers keep control of it. Steer hits it up into the neutral zone. Downey trying to get to that puck. Conrad gets it into the neutral zone. The Panthers bring it in, broken up by Brooks. And we're going to get, I think, offsides. So we're going to have a face-off to the near dot. Conrad, Downey, Moore, Steer, and Brooks. Still fighting along the dot. Moore sends it into the neutral zone. Brooks will pick this up. Brooks dumps it down behind the net. The Panthers have possession into the middle and pass it up to the neutral zone. Poke checked by Brooks, but the Panthers gain control. Steer with a good poke check out to the corner. Steer sticking with this. Puck gets it over towards Conrad along the boards. Conrad dumps it out into the neutral zone before he gets hit. The Panthers hit the puck along the boards. Brooks picks it up and hard bouncing pass to Downey. Downey brings it into the offensive zone, passes it over towards Moore in the middle. Moore back towards Bilodeau. Bilodeau centers it, bounces off of the Panthers over to the far corner. Downey tries to keep that in. Steer tries to keep it in, but the Panthers do get it out. Panthers have some speed, have a little bit of a breakaway. Good back check by Steer. Nice save by Winfield. Nets off. So some good defense and back checking there by Steer. Save by Winfield, and then the net's off. So we have 4:12 left in the first period. The score is 0-0. We're going to have Williams, Eichfeld, Bilodeau, Sheehan, and I think that's Knob out there on a face-off to Winfield's left. So the face-off goes back towards Williams. Williams hits this puck hard around the boards. Sheehan will try to get to it, but it leaks out. Eichfeld has some speed, brings it into the offensive zone. Eichfeld with a shot saved by the goalie. Rebound out by the Panthers. The Panthers center it. Nice poke check by Knob, but the Panthers gain possession of it. I think that'll be offsides. So a face-off on the near dot. Bilodeau, Sheehan, Eichfeld, Williams, and Knob. Eichfeld with the face-off goes into the back of the neutral zone. Bilodeau putting pressure along that puck. Centering pass back to Knob. Knob through the middle. Panthers hit it off the board and get into the middle. Broken up by Eichfeld. Knob up to Bilodeau. Bilodeau dumps it down. It will be on net, so the goalie will have to play it. The Panthers bring it behind the net. Hit it up along the boards. Williams keeps it in. Williams towards the middle. Knob will pick this up in the neutral zone. Dumps it down. Panthers cross ice pass. And no icing. Williams will hit it hard up towards Sheehan, but it does get picked off by the Panthers. Panthers center it, broken up by Baker. Panthers with a shot, deflected. Knob goes behind the net. Baker will pick up this puck, hits it through the neutral zone to Eichfeld. Eichfeld brings it into the offensive zone. Eichfeld still fighting for this puck along the boards, gets it in the corner. Eichfeld gets hit into the boards, and the Panthers pick this off. Baker breaks up that play, gets it towards wide line. Wide line and break. Baker fighting for the puck along the boards. Wide line putting some good pressure behind the net. The puck leaks around. Baker will get it in the corner. Centers it back behind the net to wide line. Wide line up towards Steer at the point. Steer with a shot saved by the goalie. Bouncing puck. Giesman tries to get it in. So there's going to be a penalty, it looks like. Looks like they're going to take both wide line and the Panthers player for roughing. So it's going to be 5-on-5 offsetting penalties for a minute 30. So wide line and the Panthers player roughing behind the net, offsetting penalties. So we'll still be 5-on-5. We're going to have Baker, Giesman, Lugar, Knob, and Brooks. So Giesman with the face-off. The Panthers come away with it, dump it hard around the boards, and out of play. So Lugar will take this face-off. Goes to Baker. Baker with a shot. Saved by the goalie. That was a good screen shot there. The Panthers trying to get away. Baker keeps that puck in. Baker tied up along the boards, but sticking with it. Gets it to Giesman. Giesman behind the net. Giesman back to Brooks at the point. Brooks over towards Baker. Unfortunately, just couldn't connect. The Panthers hit this up, but kept in by Knob. Knob with a shot, saved by the goalie. Giesman will collect this in the corner. Giesman back towards Brooks. The puck does leak out into the neutral zone. Brooks picks it up, waits for Giesman to get it back on sides. Brooks took a hard hit there along the boards. Baker over at the point, dumps it down to the corner. Lugar behind the net. The Panthers have some speed through the neutral zone. Wenzel's there to break up the puck. Wenzel fighting for this puck. Wenzel gets hit into the boards twice there, but sticking with that puck. Zoldi and Steer pick up the puck. Steer sends it over to Downey. Downey dumps it down. And I believe that may be a delayed penalty. So the Panthers player is going to go to the box. For roughing. So the Panthers player is going to the box for a minute 30 for roughing. So we should be 5-on-4 power play. So waiting to get the clock fixed because they have a minute 3 penalty instead of minute 30. So we're just getting that fixed. So thank you everybody for watching us. We have Archer keeping the real scoreboard for us. Are we getting the penalties up there and everything okay? Yeah, so hopefully you have a little bit more on that scoreboard for you. Trying to keep the clock. I know the clock's probably off by a little bit just with the delay getting the streaming to you, but it's pretty close for the clock. And we're working with some higher resolution, at least for the upload to Brickwall Broadcast on YouTube. We're a little bit worried about the Wi-Fi connection to do the higher resolution during the live streaming. But when we upload it to YouTube, it should be the higher resolution and hopefully better picture quality for you. Chad's always coming up with new solutions and trying new things out, trying to get it better streaming experience for you guys. So Eichfeld with that face-off back towards Billadou. Billadou fighting for this puck. Billadou comes away with it. Billadou with a backhanded shot, saved by the goalie. So that puck did leak in, but the whistle had blown before the puck went in. So no goal. So minute 21 on our power play, 58 seconds left in the first period. Still 0-0. Eichfeld with a face-off. Conrad, Bilodeau, Steer, and Downey out there. Steer keeps this in at the blue line. Shot saved by the goalie. So we have 51 seconds left in the first period. Minute 14 on our power play. So Eichfeld will take this face-off. The Panthers come up with it, hit it around the boards. Steer keeps it in at the point, drops it down towards Bilodeau. Bilodeau surveying, gets it down towards Eichfeld. Eichfeld surveying, gets it towards the middle to Steer. Unfortunately, just couldn't connect. Downey goes back to the neutral zone. Mustangs regroup, sends it over to Bilodeau. Bilodeau over to, I'm sorry, I couldn't figure out who that was. The puck leaks down. Downey will pick this up. Downey over along the boards. The Panthers pick that up. Conrad with a good hit to break up that play. Eichfeld trying to get that puck loose. The puck does come loose. The Panthers send it up along the boards. Downey picks it off. Downey brings it in. Shot, saved by the goalie at the buzzer. So at the end of the first period, we are tied 0-0. We still have 23 seconds left on our power play into the second period. Per the scoreboard, 12 shots on goal for the Mustangs and 5 for the Panthers. Thank you everybody for joining us. Again, this is the second game of the 14U AA Mustangs against the SHAHA Panthers. And we're going to mute you during the intermission. Okay, we're getting ready to start the second period. We have 15 minutes up on the clock. We're going to have Baker, Moore, Sheehan, Brooks, and Knob with Winfield in the net to our left. We still have 23 seconds left on our power play. Moore hits that puck over towards Baker. Moore along the boards, gets hung up, gets it to Baker. Baker dumps it into the offensive zone. The Panthers pick this up, hit it along the boards. Moore picks this up, changes directions. Moore over towards Brooks. Brooks hard pass towards Sheehan. It leaks along the boards. SHAHA sends it up to Knob. The SHAHA Panthers are back to full strength. Baker hits us up along the boards, gets it to Moore. Moore towards Sheehan. Panthers hit this puck up along the boards. Fighting for the puck. Leaks back to Knob. Knob over to Brooks. Brooks towards Baker in the middle. It'll be on net, so the goalie will have to play it and covered. So 14:09 left in the second period, still 0-0. We're going to have Zoldi, Wenzel, Lugar, Wilson, and Williams. So Lugar, the faceoff goes towards Zoldi. The Panthers get this up, but Williams keeps it in momentarily. The Panthers do have a little bit of a breakaway. Wilson back on D. Shot saved by Winfield. Wilson takes it behind the net. The Panthers have it at the point. Wilson gets this up towards Lugar. The puck leaks into the middle. Williams is trying to get to this puck, gets towards Wilson, and Williams brings it through the neutral zone and dumps it down to the corner. Williams with a hit to break up that play. Wenzel trying to poke check it. The Panthers get it out into the neutral zone, but Lugar will collect and send it over along the boards. Williams dumps it down. Wenzel will go over along the boards to try to collect, hits it down behind the net. Panthers send it up. Wenzel back to Lugar. Lugar up to Wilson at the point. Wilson with a shot, saved by the goalie. So 13-12 left in the second period, still 0-0. We'll have a face-off to the right of the goalie. Brooks, Moore, Eichfeld, Sheehan, and Steer. So Eichfeld with the face-off goes back to Brooks. Brooks with a shot bounces off of the Panthers. Moore picks this up. Moore back to Eichfeld. Eichfeld with a shot, saved by the goalie. So we'll have a face-off to the right of the goalie. Keep that same line out there. Eichfeld with the face-off goes towards Moore. Moore and Eichfeld fighting for the puck. Eichfeld comes away with it. Backhanded, but saved by the goalie and covered. So good tries there by the Mustangs. So Eichfeld with the face-off goes towards the corner. The Panthers hit it hard up and do get out into the neutral zone. Brooks in pursuit of the puck. Brooks comes up with it, sends it up into the middle. The Panthers have to get back on sides before they dump it down. Steer will go behind the net to pick this up. Steer passes it back to Brooks. Brooks to Moore. The Panthers keep this in and take a shot wide of the net. Steer hits that puck up. And it looks like it might be a delayed penalty as the goalie was coming to the bench. So Eichfeld's going to the box for roughing. So Eichfeld to the box for a minute 30 for roughing. So the Mustangs will be on a penalty kill. We're going to have Downey, Bilodeau, Williams, and Knob on our penalty kill. So Downey with the face-off. The Panthers had this at the point, dump it down to the corner. Centering pass couldn't connect. They have it at the point, pass it point to point. Shot deflected off of their own player. Panthers try to center, broken up by Williams. Williams goes behind the net. Williams hits it up and out. It looks like it'll be on net, so no icing. Downey comes in to the corner to pick up this puck. Downey still fighting for this puck along the boards. Downey is still fighting for this puck. The ref is trying to protect himself from those sticks that are flying. Bilodeau comes along the boards, hits it down towards Downey. Downey tries to get it to the middle, but it's picked off by the Panthers. 43 seconds left on our penalty kill. The Panthers get it in. I'm assuming that was a good hit by Downey from the sound of our bench, but it was behind the play, so I didn't see it. So cross-ice pass by the Panthers, dumped wide of the net. Panthers pick this up along the corner, bring it around. Shot, saved by Winfield. Shot from the point, deflected wide of the net. Williams dumps it down, but the Panthers keep it in. Bilodeau putting pressure along that puck. Williams picks it up and hits it high out. Downey trying to get to this puck before it's icing. Downey does get to it before it's icing. Downey trying to center it, bounces up behind the net. We are back to full strength. Bilodeau sends this towards the dot. Wilson is there to send it towards the middle. Unfortunately, we weren't there. Wideline tries to break up this play. Wilson comes away with the puck momentarily. The Panthers dump it down wide of the net. Line and Knob come into the corner. Wilson behind the net as well. We've got some bodies flying back there. So the Panthers keep it in at the point, send it to the cross point. Baker's there to try to break up the play, but the Panthers dump it down. The Panthers bring around the circle, center it, saved by Winfield, still sitting there. Knob will pick up this puck, dump it up, and the Panthers do keep it in. Giesman trying to break up that play. Baker gets it out into the neutral zone. That should be offsides. So we have 10 minutes left in the second period. The score is still 0-0. We're going to have Steer, Brooks, Lugar, Wenzel, and Zoldi out for the Mustangs. So Lugar with a face-off. Steer hits it cross ice. Wenzel is in pursuit of this puck. Brooks bounces this down in the neutral zone, sends it over towards Zoldi. Zoldi dumps it down. The puck leaks behind the net. The Panthers hit this hard along the boards. Brooks keeps this in. Brooks over towards Zoldi. Unfortunately, it got picked off by the Panthers. The Panthers have it through the neutral zone. The Panthers bring it in. Nice hit by Steer. Lugar comes in for another hit. Puck off the side of the net. Brooks will pick this up. Brooks hits it along the boards. Zoldi hits it up and out into the neutral zone. Wenzel tries to break up that play. Brooks gets it back to the neutral zone towards Lugar. Lugar to Zoldi. Zoldi dumps it down after he gains the red line. The Panthers take it behind the net. Good job by Moore to break up that play. Steer sends it up and out. So we're going to get a hooking penalty against Moore. So Moore will be going to the box for 1:30. So we'll be on the penalty kill again for 1:30. We have 8:57 left in the second period. Score is still 0-0. We're going to have Eichfeld, Knob, Sheehan, and Williams on a face-off to the right of Winfield. So Eichfeld with the face-off picks up this puck, takes it behind the net. Eichfeld brings it into the neutral zone. Eichfeld has some speed, brings it into the offensive zone. Unfortunately, we are offsides. So we still have 1:17 on our penalty kill, 8:44 left in the second period. Score is still 0-0. So Eichfeld will take the face-off with Sheehan, Knob, and Williams. The Panthers come away with the face-off, send it into the neutral zone. Sheehan putting pressure along that puck. The Panthers dump it behind the net. Knob has it in the corner, hits it up along the boards. The Panthers keep it in. Eichfeld does come up with it and brings it into the neutral zone. Poke checked by the Panthers, back to Sheehan. Sheehan brings it into the offensive zone. Sheehan trying to get it centered, poke checked by the Panthers. The Panthers get it out into the neutral zone. Williams picks this up. The Panthers come up with it. Cross ice pass picked off by Knob. Knob up towards Williams. Bouncing puck in the neutral zone. Eichfeld comes up with it, dumps it down momentarily. The Panthers will dump this down. No icing. Knob will pick this up, sends it around to Sheehan. Sheehan up towards Eichfeld. Eichfeld will chase this puck before the Panthers hit it up along the boards. We have 13 seconds left on our penalty kill. Good job by Williams to break up that puck momentarily. I think that might be offsides. Yeah, offsides. So we still have 6 seconds left on the penalty kill. 7:33 left in the second period. So we're going to have a face-off at the near dot. Billadu, Downey, Steer, and Wilson. So Downey with the face off, goes back to steer. Steer high, flying puck down towards the backboards. We are back to full strength. Downey trying to get to that puck, but is going to pick up a penalty. So Downey's going to get a penalty for cross-checking. He'll go to the box for a minute 30. So just as our last penalty wore off, we're going to get another one. So we'll be on the penalty kill for a minute 30 again. We have 7:21 left in the second period. Looks like we have Wilson, Billadu, Steer, and Conrad out for the Mustangs on a face-off to the left of the goalie. So Billadu with the face-off. He's over towards the wall. Steer trying to get to that puck. The Panthers have it. Send it up to the point. Slap shot. Nice save by Winfield. I believe that's Downey in the corner there. Or no, that was Wilson in the corner there trying to pick up that puck. Shot, saved by Winfield. So good save by Winfield there. I do apologize. As all these players are growing and getting closer together in height and looking similar, it's hard to tell someone apart sometimes. We don't have numbers on the sides of our jerseys or on the sleeves, so it is sometimes harder if I can't see their back. So I do apologize mixing up names all the time. And my tired brain isn't working so well either. So I do appreciate you putting up with me. So Giesman behind the net. I think that was Brooks that hit that puck up. Brooks will pick it up along the boards. Brooks changes directions, dumps that puck up and out into the neutral zone. Giesman putting pressure along this puck. Giesman still putting pressure. Ooh, Giesman comes away with it right in front of the net. Shot. Oh, great job by Giesman to stick with that puck. Good save by the goalie, though. So we still have 35 seconds left on our penalty kill. 6:26 left in the second period. Score still 0-0. We're going to have Brooks, Knob, Wideline, and Giesman out for the Mustangs. So Giesman with a shot off of the face-off, covered by the goalie. So we'll repeat that face-off to the left of the goalie. So Giesman fighting for that puck along the boards. The Panthers come up with it. Panthers clear the neutral zone. Good job by Wideline to try to break up that puck. Sticks flying on the bench there. Wideline comes up with it momentarily. Wideline trying to get it up towards Giesman. Still fighting right in front of the bench there. Brooks picks it up, gets it to Knob. Knob sends it down. No icing. Giesman putting pressure along that puck. Good poke check by Giesman to keep that puck behind there. Giesman still fighting for that puck. We still have 1 second left on our penalty kill, and we're back to full strength. Cross ice pass broken up by Knob. Good job there. Knob still fighting for that puck along the boards. Knob and Baker and assistance. The puck leaks back. Brooks will go collect it. Brooks surveying, sends it over towards Baker along the wall. Baker in pursuit of this puck. The Panthers will take it behind the net. Baker still in pursuit. Good job by Baker to break up that play and keep it behind the net. Baker still fighting to get to this puck. So the puck leaks out. Knob is there, waits for the Mustangs to get back on sides. Eichfeld tried to keep it at the blue line, but unfortunately it bounced in. So 5:10 left in the second period, still 0-0 while face-off. Looks like at center ice, we're going to have Williams, Wilson, Moore, Eichfeld, and Sheehan. So Eichfeld with the face-off. Eichfeld fighting to get to that puck. Sheehan fighting to get to that puck. Eichfeld does come away with it before he gets taken down. Moore picks this up, shot off of the side of the net. Eichfeld trying to get to that puck. The Panthers do get it up towards the point and into the neutral zone. They bounce it off of the wall. Good job by Wilson to break up that play, but the Panthers do come away with it. Good poke check by Williams. Moore sends it up along the boards, but the Panthers keep it in. The Panthers send it behind the net. Wilson poke checks it around towards Sheehan, but the Panthers pick this up. Shot. And I think the net's off. So 4:34 left in the second period, still 0-0. We'll have a face off to the right of Winfield. So Moore, Eichfeld, Sheehan, Steer, and Williams on a face-off to Winfield's right. Eichfeld with the face-off goes back to the Panthers. Panthers D-to-D pass. Ooh, bouncing puck caught by Winfield. Good job there. Bounced off of the helmet into Winfield's glove. So 4:28 left in the second period. We'll repeat that face-off. So poke checked out to the corner. Eichfeld comes away with it, brings it through the neutral zone. The Panthers pick this off. Cross ice pass. Wilson breaks up that play. Good job there. Gets it to Moore. Moore brings it into the offensive zone. Poke check by the Panthers. Eichfeld comes in to break up that play. Eichfeld and Sheehan. Sheehan comes away with it. Sheehan tries to get it back to Eichfeld and does. Eichfeld tries to get to that puck, but he goes down. The Panthers cross ice pass. Wilson trying to get to the puck in the corner. Wilson breaks up that play, gets it up to Moore towards Eichfeld. Unfortunately, the Panthers get that out and send it up into the neutral zone. The Panthers regroup. Oh, they try to jump it down after the game in the red line, but didn't get much on that puck. Wilson will pick this up, hits it up towards Eichfeld. That'll be on net, so the goalie will have to play. So the Mustangs are in a change. Cross ice pass by the Panthers. No icing, so Wilson will go back to collect. Wilson hits this hard around the boards. Zoldi will collect this puck. Zoldi passing to Wenzel. Wenzel brings it into the, poke check there by the Panthers. Steer will bring this in over towards Lugar. Lugar to Steer. Steer with a shot saved by the goalie. Zoldi tries to get in before the Panthers push him into the net. So a little bit of extracurriculars after the play there. Zoldi gets pushed into the net and the net's off. 2:56 left in the second period. Still 0-0. We have Lugar, Wenzel, Steer, Brooks, and Zoldi. Lugar with the face-off. The Panthers come away with it. Brooks keeps it in. Shot goes off of Wenzel's back. The Panthers send it around behind the net, hit it off of the boards. Brooks is there to keep it in momentarily. The puck does leak out, though, and Zoldi sends it back up. The Panthers will regroup. Cross ice pass. Pass there. Good job by Steer to break up that play. The Panthers have this shot wide of the net. Wenzel will go over along the boards, gets this puck out into the neutral zone. Lugar poke checks it up into the offensive zone. Lugar still trying to get to this puck. The Panthers do have it behind the net. Cross ice pass by the Panthers. Downey coming in hard. Steer will send this over along the boards. The Panthers have this puck, try to get it out. So Downey and a Panthers player were tied up behind the play. So Downey and the Panthers player will go into the box. So we're going to have offsetting penalties. 2:07 left in the second period. Score still 0-0. We're going to have Eichfeld, Lugar, Eichfeld, Moore, Sheehan, Knob, and Williams. Eichfeld with the puck. Brings it towards the middle. Good poke check by Eichfeld. Eichfeld gets it up towards Sheehan. Sheehan fighting for that puck along the boards. The Panthers do come away with it. The puck is sitting in the neutral zone. The Panthers bring it into their offensive zone. Cross ice pass broken up by Williams. Behind the net. Up to the point. Slap shot. Good job by Eichfeld to block that puck. Williams gets that up, but the Panthers keep it in. Oh, high flying puck. Thankfully, that Panthers player caught that, or else it was coming right at us. So we have Knob, Williams, Giesman, Conrad, and Steer on a face-off to the right of Winfield. Or no, I think that's Billadu, not Steer. So Billadu trying to poke check that out. The Panthers keep it in. Good job by Williams to break up that play. Williams through the neutral zone. Poke checked by the Panthers. Knob will pick this up. Unfortunately, it bounces off the Panthers. Knob does a good job sticking with it, but shot from the Panthers and good save by Winfield. So 1:12 left in the second period, still 0-0. We'll face off to the left of Winfield. Wide line, Eichfeld, Baker, Williams, and Knob. So Baker will pick up this puck, brings it along the boards. Baker dumps it out into the neutral zone. Eichfeld in pursuit of this puck. Eichfeld picks it up. Eichfeld behind the net, wraps it around, centers it. Baker tries to get a shot off, but it's blocked. Baker back to Knob at the point. Knob with a shot, blocked by the Panthers. The puck leaks out into the neutral zone. Williams waits for the... Oh, unfortunately, we're just offsides. So 49 seconds left in the second period, still 0-0. So we're going to have Lugar, Zoldi, Wenzel, Brooks, and Wilson. So Lugar with the face-off goes towards Wenzel. Wenzel dumps it down. Lugar chasing this puck behind the net. Zoldi comes up with it behind the net, tries to get it to Wenzel, but it's picked up. So Brooks poke checking that. Brooks into the neutral zone. Wilson sends it over towards Wenzel. Wenzel dumps it down. Zoldi trying to get to this puck behind the net. Wenzel will pick this up, changes directions behind the net. Wenzel centers it to Zoldi. Zoldi with a shot. That was a good save by the goalie. Lugar trying to get to that puck. Brooks with a shot down into the corner. And that'll be the end of the second period. So at the end of the second period, the score is still 0-0 per the scoreboard. Mustangs have 21 shots on goal, and the Panthers have 15 shots on goal. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Again, our next games will be on the 15th and 16th of November. The 15th, we will be playing the Ohio Prospects for a doubleheader, and the 16th, we'll be playing the Toledo Cherokee. So head into Ohio for that weekend. So I'm going to mute you for the rest of this intermission. Okay, we're getting ready to start the third period. We have 15 minutes up on the clock. Looks like we have wide line, Giesman, Baker, Downey, and Steer, and Winfield in the net to our right. So Giesman with the faceoff goes back to the Panthers. Panthers dump it down. Downey will collect, hits it towards wide line. Wide line gets it into the neutral zone. The Panthers pass it back to their D, and then D to D. Up along the boards. The Panthers dump it down behind the net. Downey will go to collect, hits it up along the boards. Panthers keep it in. Downey still fighting for this puck. The Panthers shot saved by Winfield. Steer with this puck, gets it over towards wide line. Wide line with a shot, saved by the goalie up into the netting. So we'll have face off to the right of the goalie. Lots of Mustangs out there. Let's see who's going to stay. Looks like it's going to be Williams, Steer, Downey, Eichfeld, and Sheehan. So Eichfeld with the faceoff goes towards the boards. The Panthers try to get it around. Sheehan is there to break up that play momentarily. The Panthers hit it hard up off of the boards. Downey dumps it back towards Sheehan, picked off by the Panthers. Downey bringing it into the neutral zone. Downey has some speed along the boards. Downey trying to get around that player, poke checked by the Panthers. The Panthers have it along the boards. They dump it down. Steer will pick up this puck, drops it for Downey. Downey with the puck. Sends it high up into the zone. Williams trying to get to that puck. Gets it to Eichfeld. Eichfeld around that one player. Eichfeld brings it in behind the net. Tried to get a shot off. Saved by the goalie. Steer with a shot. Saved by the goalie. Steer picks up this puck. Steer over towards Downey and Eichfeld. The Panthers had this in the neutral zone. Picked off by Downey. Downey into the corner. Fighting with that Panthers player. Downey comes away with it. Downey towards Williams. Williams up and out into the neutral zone. Cross ice pass picked off by Eichfeld. Eichfeld going over to the boards. Sheehan with this puck. The puck leaks into the zone. D to D pass from the Mustangs. Downey brings it into the offensive zone. Downey behind the net. Up to Eichfeld. Eichfeld back to Downey. Downey sends it across towards Moore. Moore along the boards dumps it down. Williams sends it around towards Moore. Moore fighting for this puck around the boards. Eichfeld at the red line gets it towards Moore. Moore sends it back to Eichfeld. Mustangs are getting hung up along the boards. Moore dumps it behind the net. The Panthers hit this hard, but Knob is there to keep it in. Williams picks up the puck momentarily. Williams trying to get that centered, saved by the goalie, and covered. So 11:56 left in the third period. We are still scoreless. We're going to have Conrad, Moore, Bilodeau, Brooks, and Wilson. On a face-off to the left of the goalie. So Bilodeau with that face-off. Conrad into the corner. Moore trying to fight to get to that puck. Conrad picks up this puck, centers it towards Bilodeau. Unfortunately, just off the stick. Brooks sends it over to Wilson. Wilson down towards Moore. It leaks behind the net. Conrad behind the net fighting for that puck. Panthers come away with it. Bilodeau keeps it in towards the middle. Bilodeau trying to keep that in there. Moore trying to keep that in there. The Panthers do get it out into the neutral zone. Brooks sends it up to Bilodeau. Bilodeau around that player towards Moore. Moore brings it into the offensive zone. Moore at the dot. Shot just wide of the net. Wilson trying to get to that puck, but it does leak out into the neutral zone. The Mustangs had to get back on sides. Wilson over towards Conrad. Conrad dumps it down into the offensive zone. The Panthers send it D to D into the neutral zone. Brooks up towards Moore. Moore dumps it down. Billadou in pursuit of this puck. Billadou with a shot over the net. Wilson over along the blue line, keeps it in, dumps it back down to Billadou. The puck leaks behind the net. Lugar in there with a hit to break up that play. The puck leaks out. Brooks will collect. Brooks cross ice pass to Lugar. Lugar tries to get it in. A hit, but he bounces up and gets that puck to Wenzel. Wenzel with a shot just wide of the net. Zoldi over along the boards. Zoldi sends it into the corner. Zoldi keeps that puck in. Still fighting for that puck. So the Panthers are going to be going to the box for slashing. So the Mustangs will be on a power play for 1:30. Panthers going to the box for slashing. We have 10:25 left in the third period, still scoreless. Lugar, Billadou, Eichfeld, Steer, and Downey on our power play line to face off to the left of the goalie. So Eichfeld with the face-off comes away with it. Shot saved by the goalie and covered. So we'll repeat that face-off. So Eichfeld with the face-off. Goes to Downey. Downey with a hard shot, deflected over the net. Steer keeping that in, passes it over, but leaks out into the neutral zone. The Mustangs will have to get back on sides. Downey brings it in, passes it over to Eichfeld. Eichfeld with a shot, saved by the goalie. So we'll face off to the right of the goalie. 10:03 left in the third period, 1:08 on our power play. So Eichfeld, Lugar, Billadou, Steer, and Downey. So the Panthers send this up to the point. Steer keeps it in. Steer over to Downey. Downey around, backhanded shot, saved by the goalie. The Panthers do get this out. It's going to be on net, so Winfield will have to play it. Leaves it for Steer. Steer gets hung up on the boards there a little bit. Steer, cross ice pass, bounced down by the Panthers. Lugar comes in there, hits it along the boards. Lugar with some speed into the offensive zone, passes it over towards Eichfeld, picked off by the Panthers momentarily. Eichfeld passes it back to Downey. We still have 28 seconds left on our power play. Downey from the point, blocked by the Panthers. Eichfeld picked this up. Eichfeld with a shot. Oh, just off the post. Steer to Billadou. Billadou still fighting for this puck. Lugar picks it up behind the net. Lugar out along the boards. Downey tries to get it back to Lugar, but the Panthers tap it down. It is deflected, so no icing. The Panthers are back to full strength. Downey has some speed coming out of the defensive zone, coming along the boards, picked off by the Panthers, but it gets hung up along the boards. Billadou comes in to break up that play. Giesman and Lugar breaking up that play. Giesman through the neutral zone. Giesman brings it into the offensive zone. Giesman with a shot wide of the net or over the net. Bounces back and covered by the goalie. So 8:30 left in the third period. Still scoreless. Wide line, Giesman, Knob, Baker, and Brooks. So Giesman to face off. He kicks that down behind the net. The puck rides the rails. Knob sends it to wide line with a shot just wide of the net. Brooks will pick this up at the point, drops it down to Baker. Wide line takes it behind the net. Panthers have it centered. Giesman picks it up, sends it back to Brooks. Brooks with a shot deflected by Baker, but saved by the goalie. Baker to the middle. Giesman tries to get a shot off, saved by the goalie. The Panthers dump it down. No icing, so Knob will have to. Oh, no, it is going to be icing. Sorry, I thought they waved that one off, but it will be icing. So 7:51 left in the third period. We'll have a face-off, I believe, to the left of the goalie. So we're going to have Eichfeld, Sheehan, Downey, and Wilson, and Williams. So Sheehan trying to get to this puck. Wilson sends it down to Eichfeld. Eichfeld in the middle, shot and in! So Eichfeld with that goal. That'll put the Mustangs up on the board. Much needed goal for the Mustangs. 7:44 left in the third period. Hopefully that'll light the spark for the Mustangs. So we're going to have Eichfeld, Sheehan, Williams, Wilson, and Downey. Williams dumps it down. Panthers pass it D to D into the neutral zone. Cross ice pass. Panthers bring it in. Poke check by Downey off of his skates, but the Panthers pick this up. Panthers around off the side of the net. The puck is behind the net, still fighting for it. Still fighting for it behind the net. Downey picks it up in the corner. Downey bounces it off the boards. Panthers keep it in, though. The puck off of the boards. The puck leaks in. Downey sends it high up over towards Eichfeld. Eichfeld stretch pass towards Williams. Unfortunately, couldn't connect, and that'll be icing. So 6:57 left in the third period. The Mustangs are winning 1-0. Steer, Brooks, Bilodeau, Conrad, and Moore on a face-off to the left of Winfield. So Bilodeau with the face-off. The Panthers send it to the point, over to the circle, shot deflected and saved by Winfield. So good save there. A quick pass, shot deflected. So Bilodeau will take the face off again. The Panthers trying to get it down, broken up by Brooks. Brooks and Conrad fighting to get to that puck. Conrad gets it out into the neutral zone. The Panthers pick this up. Conrad, oh, good job by Conrad sticking with that puck. Breaks up that play. Conrad gets pushed down. And we are going to get a hooking penalty against the Panthers player. So the Panthers will be going back to the box for 1:30. So the Mustangs will be on a power play for 1:30, 6:29 left in the third period. The Mustangs are winning 1-0. We'll face off to the right of the goalie. Eichfeld, Williams, Bilodeau, Steer, and Downey. So the puck goes to Bilodeau, Bilodeau to Steer. Steer over to Downey. Downey with the backhand shot deflected. Ooh, high bouncing puck into the net, or into the bench. So lots of flying pucks today onto the benches. Also lots of flying sticks along the benches today too. So Eichfeld with his face off. Shot just wide of the net. Williams fighting to get to that puck. The puck leaks around the boards. Bilodeau will pick this up. Bilodeau surveying. Bilodeau surveying. Shot deflected over the net. Downey will pick this up. Downey fighting for that puck. Downey getting it to Billadoo. Billadoo with a shot saved by the goalie. Williams with a rebound saved by the goalie. So some good attempts by the Mustangs. We still have 55 seconds left on our power play. 5:54 left in the third period. So we're going to have Wyline, Baker, Giesman, Knob, and Brooks out for the Mustangs. On the face out to the left of the goalie. Giesman over towards Baker. Good job by Knob to poke check that back in. Brooks along the blue line. Dumps it down to Giesman. Giesman trying to get it to the middle. Giesman comes up with the puck shot, saved by the goalie, and in! So Baker gets that rebound and in. So Giesman with the initial shot. Baker gets that rebound and in. So that'll put the Mustangs up 2-0. They capitalize on that power play. That'll get the Panthers player out of the box, so we'll be back to full strength. So 5:40 left in the third period. The Mustangs are winning 2-0. So everybody's creeping into the face-off circle. Refs are getting them out. Giesman with the face-off goes back to the Panthers. Brooks will pick this up. Brooks takes it behind the net, brings it around, changes directions. Brooks changes directions again. It bounces off the back of the net. The Panthers center it, picked up by Baker. Baker out to Giesman in the neutral zone. Giesman through the neutral zone, dumps it down after he gains the red line. The Panthers pick this off and send it down. No icing, so Baker will have to go to collect. Baker behind the net with some speed. Baker passing it up to Wyline. Wyline trying to get it over to Giesman, but it gets picked off by the Panthers. Wyline keeps that in. Shot on net. Baker comes in to try to get the rebound, but covered. So 4:55 left in the third period. Mustangs are winning 2-0. Wenzel, Zoldi, Lugar, Wilson, and Downey. So Lugar back to Downey. Downey towards Lugar in the corner. The Panthers pick this up behind the net. Bouncing puck along the boards. Wilson gets it to Lugar. Lugar to Wenzel. Wenzel gets hit in the middle. The Panthers get it out. Wilson to Downey. Downey back to Wilson. Ooh, unfortunately, Wilson missed that puck. The Panthers missed that puck, thankfully. Wenzel will pick this up. High flying puck, gloved down by the Panthers. Wenzel with a poke check. The Panthers still bring it in. Wilson tries to break up that play. Shot deflected off of Downey's skates. Wraparound saved by Winfield. Wenzel into the corner, sends it up along the board. Zoldi poke checks that up. Lugar gets it out into the neutral zone. Lugar skating hard to get to this puck. The Panthers send it back into the neutral zone. The Mustangs were in a change. Cross-ice pass dumped on net, saved by Winfield, and covered. So 3:56 left in the third period. The Mustangs are still winning 2-0. Williams, Knob, Sheehan, Steer, and Eichfeld. All of the changing lines aren't making it easy on me today. So Eichfeld with the face-off, Steer behind the net, Williams along the boards, high bouncing puck into the neutral zone. Eichfeld brings it in. Eichfeld with a shot saved by the goalie. Eichfeld behind the net hits it over towards Sheehan. The Panthers pick this up. Ooh, they try to get a cross-ice pass broken up by Sheehan. Sheehan gets it to Eichfeld, but unfortunately we're offsides. So 3:35 left in the third period. Mustangs are still winning 2-0. So Eichfeld with the face-off. Williams picks this up and brings it in. Williams with a shot deflected off of the netting. So we'll face off to the left of the goalie. Eichfeld, Sheehan, Williams, Knob, and Steer. The Panthers pick this up, send it hard up along the boards. Steer will collect it in the neutral zone, but batted down by the Panthers. Knob hits that puck up. The Panthers keep it in. Poke checked by Knob. Sheehan gets it out to Williams in the neutral zone. Williams still fighting for that puck. Williams with a good job fighting for that puck. Centers it, saved by the goalie. Sheehan behind the net to try to break that up. Eichfeld along the boards, but the Panthers come away with it into the neutral zone. Steer breaks up that play. Steer up to Eichfeld. Eichfeld into the offensive zone. Eichfeld with a shot. Glove saved by the goalie. So 2:51 left in the third period. Mustangs are winning 2-0. We'll have Billadou, Moore, Conrad, Brooks, and Downey. Brooks over to Downey, Downey to Moore, Moore up to Downey, Downey over to Moore, Moore to Billadou, Billadou centers it. Unfortunately, Conrad was tied up there. Brooks dumps it down to Conrad, Conrad behind the net. Billadou tries to get to that puck, but the Panthers leak it around. Moore sends it back to Billadou. Billadou behind the net, changing directions. Moore over to the boards, but is poke checked by the Panthers. Downey keeps that in momentarily before the Panthers get it out. Broken up by Downey. Downey to Brooks. Brooks to Downey. Still kind of fighting there on the ice. Downey takes it behind the net. Ooh! Brooks got hit hard into the back of the net there. So as they were coming around that net, Brooks got pushed hard into the back of the net there, dislodging the net. So the refs are trying to fix that net back there. We have 2:04 left in the third period. Mustangs are still winning 2-0. We're going to have Moore, Conrad, Billadou, Wilson, and Knob. Panthers with a quick shot, saved by Winfield, bouncing puck. Conrad gets that to Billadou. Billadou through the neutral zone. Billadou has some speed into the offensive zone. He gets hung up along the boards. Conrad in assistance. Billadou fighting for this puck, leaks out to Wilson. Wilson with a shot wide of the net, bouncing onto the back of the net. Conrad trying to get this centered. The Panthers pick this off and get it out into the neutral zone. Wilson sends it towards Moore, but the Panthers get this out. Knob keeps it at the blue line. Panthers will have to regroup. Billadou putting pressure along that puck. Billadou still putting pressure along that puck. Good job by Billadou with that pressure. The Panthers take it behind the net. Moore trying to break up that puck. Billadou's still in there, causing all kinds of havoc. Moore picks that up. Moore with this puck centers it towards Billadou, gets picked off by the Panthers. The Panthers have it into the neutral zone. Goes back, Knob hits it along the far boards. The Panthers bring it in, broken up by Knob. Wide line in there to break up the play momentarily. Knob hits it hard around the boards. The Panthers keep it in. Wilson comes in to break up that play. Knob and Giesman in there to break up that play. Wilson hits that puck hard along the boards, but it gets poke checked back down. Wilson to the middle towards Giesman. Giesman, it's an empty net. Giesman with a shot just wide of the net. So we have 34 seconds left. Centering pass. Knob with a shot towards the empty net. Oh, just wide. So wide line with a shot towards the empty net. Poke checked by the Panthers. The Panthers have it through the neutral zone. Giesman trying to get to this puck. We have 13 seconds left. Giesman with a shot. Oh, another one wide of the net. Baker towards the net as well. The Panthers pick this up. Steer with this puck. Steer with a hard shot towards the empty net. Deflected wide, and that'll be the end of the game. So at the end of the game, the Mustangs win 2-0 per the scoreboard. The Mustangs had 38 shots on goal. and the Panthers had 20 shots on goal. So 2 great wins, 3-0 for the first game, 2-0 for the second game. Great shutouts for both Merrill and Winfield today. Great job by the Mustangs with 2 wins. Thank you everybody for watching. Again, we'll be back on November 15th and 16th, coming to you from Ohio. Hopefully everybody has a good rest of your weekend, and the Mustangs will enjoy a Sunday off.